Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the top 4 high interest savings accounts available to Australian customers. So at the current moment, interest rates are at historical lows, and therefore maybe it's worth reviewing your current interest rate and comparing it against the banks that we're looking at today to see if you can potentially make a switch to earn yourself a little bit more interest on your savings. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So coming in at number 4, we have ING, who are offering a Savings Maximiser account that allows you to earn up to 2.3% per annum. There's a couple of qualifying activities that you'll need to do, which we'll discuss a little bit later. ING's historically been very good in providing a lot of value to its customers through their higher interest rates relative to the rest of the market, and they're still continuing to do so today. So just looking at what the Savings Maximiser provides you with, as part of opening a Savings Maximiser account, you have the option to enable roundups, as we can see here, which essentially just allows you to, when you're making transactions, so if you have a transaction account as well with ING, they'll automatically make up the margin. For example, if you were to spend $54.50, they would add an additional 50 cents as a roundup to that purchase and pull that from your transaction account and put it into your Savings Maximiser account. So it's a little neat trick to just incentivize you to save more whilst you're spending. Then we just have the interest rate here, and then just to note that it's up to $100,000, so you'll need to have less than $100,000 in the account to qualify. There's no penalty for you to withdraw or deposit or move money from your accounts, which is great if you need flexibility whilst also earning a great interest rate. Additionally, no fees associated with the account, which is great to see because any sort of fee can definitely eat away at your returns and your overall interest earned on the account. We also have the online access that you'll get whilst opening this account, which is pretty standard these days, and then the savings guarantee by the Australian government if up to $250,000. Now, when it comes to qualifying for the 2.3% per annum interest rate, you'll need to deposit at least $1,000 per month into the Savings Maximiser account, and that shouldn't be too hard if you're currently working. So you just have your pay funneled through your Savings Maximiser account each month, and you should be able to reach that. The other piece is you'll need to make at least 5+ card purchases that are settled and not pending each month. So as part of this, it would be great if you set up your Savings Maximiser and you also have a transactional account linked with ING as well, and you just tap at least 5+ times per month, and then you'll hit the requirements and earn the 2.3% per annum. In the event that you unfortunately don't qualify for the high variable interest rate, you'll revert to a 0.5% per annum variable rate, which obviously isn't as much, but at least you are still earning some interest on your money in the event you don't qualify. So if these features sound attractive to you, maybe it's potentially worth looking into opening an account with ING. Coming in at number 3, we have Ubank, which is a subsidiary of National Australia Bank, or NAB. They're currently offering 2.41% per annum on their USaver savings account. Just scrolling down here, in order to qualify for the 2.41% per annum USaver bonus interest rate, you'll first need to open up a USaver savings account, which currently offers 1.35 as the standard variable interest rate. But then if you were to link an Ultra transaction account and deposit at least $200 a month, you'll receive a bonus interest rate of 1.06%, resulting in the 2.41% per annum interest rate as advertised above. So Ubank is relatively new, but they've obviously got a strong interest rate here of 2.41% per annum, which is very competitive at the current with the current market. If we just look at down here, we have why Ubank. So they've got more than 500,000 Australian customers, which is actually quite large considering the size of the Australian population. And then we have around 10,000 customers joining every month. So I assume the influx of customers would be because of the high interest rate they're currently offering. And then, as with ING, we have government guaranteed deposits up to $250,000, and they've currently got $16 billion under management at the current moment. So definitely one to check out if this particular qualification seems more attractive, as you do not need to make any purchases as opposed to with the ING where you do. Just depositing $200 a month is significantly less than $1,000 as well, and you're also achieving a higher interest rate. But there are other things to take into consideration, such as the bank, their potential mobile application that they use, and there's other things that may come into the equation when deciding who to go with. But definitely one to check out if you're interested in receiving 2.41% per annum on your savings. So coming in at number 2, we have Rabobank, who are currently offering a high interest savings account that provides 2.75% per annum for the first 4 months of opening the account. So unlike the other 2 banks that we've previously mentioned, Rabobank is only offering this boosted interest rate for 4 months, whereas the other ones you're able to continually receive the bonus interest as long as you met the requirements. So that's something to keep in mind. The bonus rate is applicable to balances up to $250,000 and is valid for the first 4 months. Now, in the event or after the first 4 months finishes, then you'll revert back to the standard variable interest rate, which is around 1.3 or is 1.3% per annum. So you'll only receive that bonus interest for the first 4 months. And then also something to note is in the event that you just want to get the bonus interest for 4 months and then take your funds out, there's no penalty for doing so. You're absolutely entitled to do that. In addition to that, there's 0 account keeping fees associated with the accounts, so another thing to keep in mind. In addition to that, they've got the government guarantee of $250,000, so in the event the bank goes bust, the government will cover your funds up to $250,000. Additionally, there's no monthly balance requirements to meet, so you will not need to deposit X amount or spend X amount on the account to receive the bonus interest rate. It's simply there to entice new customers for 4 months and get them on the Rabobank platform. So that's something to keep in mind. If this is it's far easier to qualify for this particular bonus interest rate as opposed to the other ones, maybe it's something you might want to look into. So coming in at number 1, we have Bank of Queensland, who are currently offering an extremely attractive interest rate of 3.5% per annum on balances up to $10,000. And this is with their fast track starter account. We can also see that 0 account fees and you are free to move money between your fast track starter account and also your day-to-day account, which will be your transaction account that you'll need to also set up in order to qualify for the bonus interest. So moving down further, just to get an idea of exactly what you need to do in order to qualify for the bonus interest, we can see here that the 3.5% will be applied to the first $10,000, and then every dollar above $10,000 up to $250,000 will receive 2.5% per annum. Although $10,000 with the 3.5 is disappointing because ideally it would push up a bit further, don't forget that every dollar above that is still receiving 2.5%, which is extremely attractive in today's market as well. So definitely something to consider, and also note that 3.5 is by far leading at the moment when it comes to interest rates on high interest savings accounts. Now, in order to qualify for the bonus interest, you'll need to have $200 credited to your day-to-day plus account in the prior month. So this will be the transaction account you set up in simultaneously with your savings account. And as a result of that, if you are able to deposit $200 or more in the prior month, you will receive interest in the current month of 3.5% up to $10,000 and then the 2.5%. Also note that in the event you have $250,000 or more, the base rate of 0.35% per annum applies. So that would also apply in the event that you don't qualify for the bonus interest on balances below $250,000. So 0.35 is not great. So ideally you will be qualifying for the bonus interest, and the requirements aren't that high relative to some of the other banks we've seen today. So this does come in number 1 when it comes to straight up figures and interest rates, but may not be for everyone, considering Bank of Queensland may not have the best mobile application and ease of use. So something to consider, and there may be other factors that you want to consider as well before jumping in. But if you just want, when it comes down to raw figures, you want the best interest rate, Bank of Queensland are currently offering that. Also note that these figures can change based on the RBA's decision to cut interest rates, so they're always changing and fluctuating. So definitely do your own research at the time you're watching this video or you are looking out into the market. These figures definitely fluctuate a fair bit and can move up or down based on the economy and what it's doing. So just a couple of things before we close out. if you're currently with a bank that offers great service and you've been with them for a long period of time, but potentially don't offer competitive interest rates relative to the banks that we've been discussing today, it may be worthwhile just sending an email or calling up your bank to see if they offer any loyalty bonuses or boosts to existing customers. I know personally I've managed to increase my interest rates on my savings because I've called up and made an effort to reach out to the bank to see if anything was available. So you could potentially do that if you are in that circumstance. And also, all the links to the banks that we've discussed today will be in the description. So if you're keen on checking out these banks further and doing a bit more research, feel free to just dive into the description and go from there. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions around any of the content discussed today, please drop a comment below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Also, there are other banks out there that offer somewhat competitive interest rates to the banks that we've discussed today. So if you don't feel like you could meet any of the criteria that we've discussed today in order to earn the bonus interest associated with the accounts, feel free to jump online and have a look around yourself, because there are other banks that might offer slightly lower interest rates but far more competitive requirements. So yeah, feel free to do that, and thanks for watching.